I'm Brian Jodas, 42. Hello, Kitty.
And I'm Jamie Roseborough, 40, Rapido, and this is the F3 Circle of Trust.
From the worldwide studios of F3 Nation.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story, and I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
This is the Circle of Trust, connecting the men of F3 Nation through fitness, fellowship, and faith.
Andrew Maggio, 35, Wirebiter.
Mike Kirko, 35, Saganaki!
Saganaki. Peter Angie, 63, Bambi. Jim Chicola, 47, half day.
The Circle of Trust starts right now.
Shut up and sit down.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of the Circle of Trust show. It's your boy, Hello Kitty, and I got Rapido with me. And thanks to all of you joining us in fitness, fellowship, and faith across all the different places in which you can watch this show and streaming on the newly released 24/7 continuous live coverage on NGBN TV. We are in the Thursday 2 p.m. hour. We've been doing this show live since the beginning of the year. But this is the first show, my brother, where we have jumped live into the continuous stream. So history made today, bro. What's up?
We're in the stream.
We're in a stream. We're in a stream. We're upstream. We're down. Are we upstream or downstream?
Well, as the crow flies from your house to mine, we're sort of on the lateral stream. And as long as the streams don't cross, I think we're okay.
So we're going to salmon this thing, and we're try not to Ghostbusters this thing.
Right.
Is what you're telling me.
Stay Puft Marshmallow Band and just
God
come
knows,
out of nowhere.
God knows we don't need that. Then again,
I don't know. I do like a good marshmallow.
Sigourney Weave in that red dress. I mean, you know. Oh boy,
what's happening, my friend?
Listen, man, I miss you. I felt like I haven't seen you in weeks, but it's only been a couple.
You
days.
and I both have been running hot on a couple of different areas for a couple of different things.
Gonna put the ball in my camp. Okay.
Well, sometimes you and I text about 74 times a day, or pop over to one another's house for an unexpected brewski.
Sure.
And then other times I don't feel like we talk anymore.
I know.
Like I know you anymore. I see you once a week through this stream now.
Right.
And that's all I get.
The digital divide.
I thought you'd be at workout this morning. You were lifting instead.
Well, my bride is on work travel, and I'm not prepared yet to leave the kids on the home front by themselves just yet. So that's why I was not at that workout this morning. Else I would have been.
Right. 3/4 of the Shield Lock 1 boys were there.
I know, which is a big day.
Cute.
A big name.
By the soundest of all pets.
Well, we've got a little Shield Lock 1 get together this evening over at Portugal's house.
Oh, lovely. Is he cooking?
Yeah. Well, it's a later evening deal, about an 8 o'clock meetup. And we'll be watching at 8:30 p.m. Pick Up the Six with Mike Sully Sullivan. And the Truex boys on NGBN TV have an awesome 90-minute special starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys are into the outdoors, hunting, fishing, and just a couple of wild rascals that you're going to have a great time watching, trust me, man. Go watch Micah and Rich on Truex Outdoors. They start at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. Pick Up the Six right after it. So this thing's happening, bro. It's happening.
Well, there's nothing can be stopped it now. I mean, the train is
nothing's gonna stop us.
Not only rolling, it's barreling.
It's barreling. It is literally barreling down the track.
Yeah.
No, man, it's good though, bro. Good to see you. Good to be with the men of F3. Got guys checking in across those social media platforms. And that's how you can engage with the show, right? You can talk to us by watching on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, on the X machine. And if you do that, that's how you can comment, right? And we just saw Candy Cane. We saw the boys from Kenya checking in once again, which is amazing. That's how we're able to get to do that. And you can also be a part of the show live. We've got some guests coming up. Scar U's going to join us in a matter of moments. Before we do that, let's thank the fine folks who help keep the wind in the sails of this here pirate ship. And we got to thank Malco and the guys at Mud Gear. They've been with F3 since day one, right? And they provide you guys with those great F3 shirts like Vance and I are currently wearing, but also a ton of other great gear at mudgear.com. Best socks in the business. The Speed Ruck shoes are on there. Great gear. Use the code COT. Malco's hooking you up with 15% when you go to F3. When you go to mudgear.com and use that COT code, you can save some cash there. Got to give a thanks to, you mentioned the gym session I had today.
Yeah.
Had some weight on the deadlift bar, felt very good. Had a little creatine pre-workout, had a little whey protein post-workout. Thanks to the fine folks at Momentous.
Yep.
That's livemomentous.com. They've got all your supplement, dietary needs, vitamins, all that stuff covered. Really enjoying the products and grateful for their partnership. Livemomentous.com. Code Brian J. Hospital name code on that one. You got to cut through the clutter a little bit. Brian J. on that one. So thankful for those guys. As
did you
always.
Did you hit 3 plates again this morning? Or
I was not going for that. I got 300 was on the bar for the last set of reps, and then we kind of built back up. Thanks to my man Joe Baker for hooking me up with that workout as well. You know what, guys? Go to joebakerfitness.com. He's an F3 guy to Statesville, big go ruck guy, stud. He's got me on a great weightlifting plan. So thanks to Joe Baker as well. And he's got the bakery. He's got the bakery.
What it's called, the bakery.
What's really cool about the way his workout community is not only does he design workouts for you and your goals, he brings you into a community similar to F3, right? You get to be brought in around other people. They communicate through
what's his F3
Marco Polo app. They communicate through a Marco Polo app, and that's the way they do their thing.
Yeah, what is this Marco Polo? The M was talking
to
me about
way to send very short video messages to people to where you can just talk back and forth that way. I enjoy it sometimes. Squatter, if you're watching, he hates me because I never respond. I'm just, you know me, I'm more for a text. I'm more for a text.
I'll tell you what was the one seed for your boy for all those years was a BlackBerry voice text. You could hold down a button on a BlackBerry and record like a 7 or 10 second message, and it would automatically send. And that was
pretty solid.
Take me back to the full keyboard.
Dude. I mean, that ability.
I had two BlackBerries at one time.
Oh, well, excuse the hell out of me.
One was a work one, and one was, I loved it so much I got a personal one too.
Can't hide that government money.
8690? Is that right?
I don't know.
Simpler time, Brian.
Sure was. Listen, guys. This thing is continuing to explode, right? F3 making its way across. You see all the guys just chiming in, right? There's guys everywhere, all over the place.
Yeah.
What's up, Fontana? Good to see you, man.
Got a lot of NGBN TV folks on.
This is why I'm loving this part of our show. Cross pollination, right, between the F3 guys and NGBN TV. Is that the cross pollination? Yeah, it's a little Doug Heffernan for you.
I love it.
I know you do. So let's check out what expansion looks like right now across F3 Nation, because obviously it's just all over the place, right? We got new AOs popping up all over the time, all over the place, all the time. 373 regions, 18 countries. Over 4,500 workouts daily, 93,000 men, probably damn near close to 100,000, honestly, at this point. So that's really incredible. We got a new AO and a new dot on the map to tell you about with a great new logo that I know you and I were both tuned up on. Got to give T-claps out to the boys of Bowling Green. Said, hey, guys, want to introduce myself. I'm a Slack newbie, so I apologize if this is in the wrong group. He had it in the right group.
That logo looks bossed.
Right? It looks like REI. Looks like we should be at REI.
It also has like shades of Pick Up the Six.
It's got some things. Well, you're used to seeing that sort of diamond-esque top pentagon, 1, 2, 3, hexagon style logo, which is good. But he's launching a new group, Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's going to be there very soon. So pumped to be a part of it. So if you've got friends, family in the Bowling Green area, tell them to look out for F3 because it's coming to town.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good on them. Awesome. We got to get. How do we get the PAX on a mission to get Maine filled in? Is that the last? It's still the last state on the map?
We're going to talk about something we saw happen in Maine. See, we have to zoom all the way in there on the U.S. But look at that top right. Look at the gray.
That's Maine because the next two are Vermont and New Hampshire.
Yeah, no, it's Maine all the way up there. But we do have some news out of Maine. We'll tell you a little bit about that later. That maybe is going to push a little momentum in there. But look, we know that there's been a lot of growth in the Northeast, and it really kind of starts from the boys from New Jersey. Then it started to carry north. So let's bring in our first live guest of the day. He goes affectionately by the F3 name known as Scar U, who jumps on the phone with us. So Scar, good to see you, bro. He's F3 geared up. What's up, brother?
Absolutely. It's awesome to see you guys, and I'm just thrilled to be here.
Tell us a little bit about where you are and how long you've been doing F3. Give us that bio breakdown.
So we started F3 Princeton on April 13th, 2019. So we recently had our 5-year this past weekend. So I've been affiliated, a guy by the name of Four Seasons. I met him at a Chamber of Commerce event. 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He told me about it. He said, listen, I have this group, bunch of guys, we get together, we exercise. I was sold right there. He was talking about the friends. He was talking about the fitness. And, I'm a health nut. I'm a prevention and health promotion. It's what I love to do. So once he started saying, I was like, it has this. Then he throws in a little bit about the faith and higher purpose. And I was sold right then. I went the second week, I think, after launch.
Nice.
And it's just been a huge part of my life. And the growth that we've seen in New Jersey and throughout the Northeast. Have to give a shout out to the one and only Dos Equis, because
I was going to need a Dos Equis update.
Yep.
Yes. Dos Equis is just all over the Northeast, spreading the F3 love everywhere. And when he read about F3 in a magazine, he went to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's where I met him for the first time. Was in Philadelphia.
And he was
giving out this book. He was giving this book out to whoever read it. This bowling book. It's not really about bowling, but it was about community and men and community and all this kind of stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. So him, Wally, and Four Seasons would drive to Philadelphia every week.
Yeah.
And hang out with the guys, see what F3 was like, and then at some point,
C-SPAN integral in getting everything started, right? So shout out to him too.
Absolutely, shout out to C-SPAN. I haven't seen him in a long time, but if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here today. If it weren't for Dos, I wouldn't be here today. If it weren't for Four Seasons who met me, I wouldn't be here today. And hopefully I've been able to share, because I have the opportunity in my work to work with a lot of men on a daily basis. Yeah. So they're coming in for all sorts of injuries or illnesses or diseases. And, it's always in the back of my mind, like, what's missing? What can we do to help this individual get to a healthier state? And sometimes it's recovering from that injury, but what happens after? So I brought guys that have been in the midst of coming in to see me for physical therapy.
Yeah.
And those who have finished physical therapy looking, what is next?
Yeah.
Going to be in my life. So I just have the opportunity. So I've shared it with, as many as possible. Four Seasons, again, he is all over the community. He's sharing. All the guys realize that we want to give this away. And there's so many guys out there that are suffering in silence, that are, we talk about the mental battle, all the good work you guys are doing at NGBN with suicide prevention. It is so crucial. We share this with as many people as possible. So long story short, F3 is booming in the Northeast, and I can't be more excited about that. And shout out to all my guys in Princeton, in New Jersey, that are they're just carrying on the mission. The mission is to plant, grow, and serve. That's what we're doing. We're showing up. We keep showing up. That's one of our slogans. And again, this 5-year anniversary, I was just so proud. I looked around, and I was grateful to all the men who affected me and brought me in. And then to see how we've grown, we had around close to 80 men on a Saturday at 7 a.m. to participate in 4 different rotating workouts, followed by fellowship, followed by a service event that we did for the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen. And this event would not have happened had it not been for the PACs. There's no doubt.
Well, the guys always step in. Let me do this, because you're such a humble guy. Let me brag on you for a moment, because throughout the merge and the partnership, really, merge isn't the right word, but the partnership between F3 and NGBN, with our shared mission to reach into men's lives and help men accelerate, right? With F3, with our goal of invigorating male community leadership, with NGBN's goal of creating a TV network for middle-aged men, while also underlying theme of stopping men from doing the one irreversible thing. You've stepped into the breach from day one of that, and you've rallied it, you've championed it, you got men together. So on behalf of F3 and NGBN, Mark, we owe you a huge debt of gratitude and a thank you for just being a behind-the-scenes supporter that I know you're trying to bring forward. So let us brag on you a little bit. Now,
I appreciate that. One of the reasons it's so important to me is we have a PAX by the name of Steam who started with us in the beginning, and he lost his son years ago, and he has a group, an organization called Attitudes in Reverse, and what they're doing is they're having the conversation with students in high schools, and they're bringing dogs into the schools as a way to connect with these, some of these students that may be struggling, and just to see, how it's impacted his life. he's one of the reasons that for me, mental health and suicide prevention is so important. So shout out to him, shout out to his organization, and hopefully there could be a partnership between what we're doing at NGBN and what he's doing with Attitudes in Reverse. Yeah. I think there's just a natural thing there. Yeah. And again,
well, it's amazing. We've got to, right? We're all heading in the same direction, and we can, the sum of our parts is better. Take us back to this 5-year, man. It's absolutely incredible, right? To reach that milestone, but not only a great convergence workout. Love this, right? Two pals watching together from where they're at in Ohio, which is amazing. But then to be able to give back, I mean, that's sort of peak F3. Tell us a little bit more about the Soup Kitchen, what you guys were doing to help them.
Yeah. So there's one statistic that sticks with me when I talk about the community of Trenton, which I have an affinity for, I have a love for. Trenton, you can live 13 miles from Princeton to Trenton. That's the distance. The average life expectancy difference between these two cities, which are 13 miles apart, is 15 years.
That's a big gap, bro.
Crazy.
So to me, it's just, it's just not right. It's not right. So, it's always been something close to my heart, something close to the PAX, is how do we get more involved in Trenton? We don't want to be any kind of savior. We want to be part of the community, help out, bring different things we can bring to that community. So one thing we've partnered with is a great organization called the Father Center of New Jersey. Father Center helps men that are getting out of jail, that are just struggling with their mental health, whatever it may be, to get trainings, to get education. And a guy by the name of Randall Toby, we've partnered with him to do some events, and we're actually going to be doing an F3 event next month to try to kick that off the ground in that area, which I'm super excited about. So when we had the opportunity to partner with Trenton Soup Kitchen, I asked them, I said, what do you need? And they said, we need toiletries for these individuals. We're talking shampoo, we're talking toothpaste, toothbrush, soap, deodorant, razors, you name it. So we said what we're lacking at this point is we're lacking bags that we can give to, they can stop by every month, the people in the community, and pick up a bag of toiletries, which they can use for the month. So they don't have to go out to the store and buy that. They can use that to buy food. So this was a real, quite honestly, an easy lift for the PAX, that we could buy these products and we could stuff them in a bag and we can deliver the bags to help the community. So, just to remind us that faith, we believe in faith in action. It's not just what we say. You have to walk the walk. You got to talk, can't just talk the talk. You got to live it. This is part of what F3 is. So the faith element to me is doing stuff like this. I see it all over the nation, and I'm inspired, quite frankly, by all the good that is being done. I've seen events with backpacks down in North Carolina to, building fences, building houses. I mean, you name it, we've done it.
Yeah. So where do you hear what the guys from St. Louis are up to? We're going to give a really cool update about what they are doing for the Covering House.
When I hear that stuff, I just get inspired. I want to share that with the PAX, and I want to just say, what can we do? And I think it's the impossible is possible.
Yeah. That is,
I heard that on a Netflix show. I didn't come up with it, but it is possible. 14 Peaks, by the way, you got to watch it.
Okay. Dude, Unlocked. I've just started Unlocked on Netflix. Have you seen this?
I have not.
A show where they go into a correctional facility, a prison, and they start a program where they're just going to unlock the doors and let the men in this very specific place sort of figure it out to an extent. I just started it, and I'm enthralled early in it. Yeah.
So again, I think just learn from the PAX, see what everyone else is doing, and just get inspired and come up with something that's close to your heart. Again, we're so lucky to have such a diverse group of men in our area. I'm talking about not just diversity in race and culture, from age. We had guys 7-year-old to 81 this week.
Wow.
So
that might be the greatest age range in the history of an
I doubt it is, but whatever. But
that's going to be pretty close.
It was
81, 74 years?
Yeah. 81-year-old is by the name of Photo Finish, and he's been on the Hunt for Wellness podcast, I believe. Either that or he was on with you. I'm not
He's not been on with us, so he's been on with one of the.
I would love for him to come on.
Yeah. You need to talk to this man. He's got a story. I've had the opportunity to interview him, and he is, one of those PAX that just I see him and I'm like, I want to be like you when I get older.
Yeah, that's right.
Keeps us inspired, and he was leading the last exercise in the workout over the weekend. So I got goosebumps when he was leading us in the exercise of boat canoes. So just awesome. Again, just real honored to be able to be one of the leaders in our group. And shout out to Wally and Dose, the guys, the Nantans that came before me.
Mm-hmm.
And New Jersey is exploding. We've got regions all the way. It's so exciting to see how it's just.
Well, listen, if you know anybody in Cape May, the nation's general is going to be in Cape May this weekend. So Red Baron's in the house looking for a downrange workout. So
I will definitely try to hook him up with someone. We got guys in Atlantic City, which isn't, I don't think it's that close, but.
No, dude, we just had Jim Scarano check in. That's an NGBN guy that's now into F3. Awesome. He's loving you guys, man.
What happens in New Jersey is every anniversary is a convergence because we can all drive. It's only 2 hours, a couple hours north, a couple hours south.
Yeah.
But I was down in Atlantic City with those men.
Nice.
Bilbo is doing a wonderful job down there, and Scarano's down there. I'm forgetting his F3 name right now.
Yeti.
Of course. How can I forget?
Hey, Jane, before we let Mark, a.k.a. Scar You, go, anything else for him? We got to get him out of here in a minute.
No, I think it's awesome what you're doing. I appreciate you joining us and carrying that water. And you said something that's had me thinking here about just sort of the different interpretations that we always say the phrase give it away, right? And giving this away to other men. But as we start talking about impact levels in our communities with like a service project like you're talking about, that element of giving away, I don't know if we always articulate that really well. It's something that we do to give back, and we are fostering, men to become better leaders in their communities. That's one of our core things here. But giving this away in terms of a service project or an initiative in a community is it's always refreshing to talk about. It gives people ideas in their own communities to run with, like you mentioned, whether it's backpacks down this way or it's the things we're going to talk about in St. Louis. It's just really cool to keep getting other PAX's perspectives. And here on the show, we want people to continue to drive that content towards us so that we can then open that up and share it across the nation.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the faith in action and give it away are two things that two terms that we can keep using, keep sharing, keep motivating the PAX with, because again, I've been so lucky to be inspired by I can't tell you how important F3 is in my life. It's just been a godsend, and because of that, because it's been that way to all of us, we want to keep giving it away.
Yeah.
So,
Scarano, I'm going to get you on a text with Red Baron here in moments.
Mere moments.
You guys mere moments. Brothers, good to see you, man. We love you. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, man.
Love you. Are you talking to Scarano or me?
No, I'm talking to you. Well, Scarano too. Love you too, bro. I love all you guys.
All right. I love you guys. Keep up the great work, and
thanks, brother.
Look forward to seeing you, in person and sharing a workout. It's gotta happen. I'm going to be in Raleigh, so I'm going to let you know.
Oh yeah, hard commit.
Please.
Easy. That's Mark Rubenstein, better known as Scar You across the F3 Gloom. Great to catch up with him and hear about what he's doing. Guy's got such good perspective too, man. Like he's just that's a good steady Eddie right there, man.
Well, I mean, he's in the thick of it, seeing that growth, and he's been around since the very beginning for F3 in that state, in that region.
Yeah.
So soup to nuts. He knows what's up.
That's right. All right, let's give you some love, big fella.
Me?
I'm talking to you. Yeah.
What about me?
Yeah, check this out. I saw this message come across from our man Michael Bolton out of Charleston, SC. I personally celebrate the man's entire catalog, right? But he says this: YHC was inspired by Rapido on the last week's COT podcast to do a 72-hour spiritual fast. Water, black coffee, some bone broth only. Put the challenge out to my shield lock, and 3 out of the 5 partook. Not only that, but each of our M's joined us. That creates for quite an environment around the house.
Yeah, that's a new twist.
Right? Less than an hour till sundown and the breaking of my fast. It's bittersweet. I've experienced breakthrough and forgiveness towards a family member. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And outstanding to hear that. I've experienced a closeness with my wife unlike ever in the past. That's amazing.
Wow.
The last time I experienced raw emotional worship of God and closeness with Jesus like this was 12 years ago when my ex took off my baby boy and I was so broken that I had no choice but to rely solely in him. That's like, I'm going to get,
jeez.
I mean, this has been a closeness reminiscent of that minus the sorrow. I'm so ready to enjoy a meal with my bride. And I so desperately hope and pray that I can hold on to this feeling. How about that? How about that testimonial?
That's amazing.
Listen, I'm an HC May 13, 16. We got one going. We're going to do another one here locally.
Oh, is that the next one? I hadn't seen
that's the next one, right? And you guys got to decide how many of those you want to do, right? Throughout the course
that's only
of
a
the year.
month after the one I just
That's what I'm saying. I think it's more of a quarterly or maybe twice a year kind of deal. But
well, look, that testimonial is pretty amazing to me because it hits on so many different facets in terms of the relationships in that man's life.
Right.
And the spiritual nature of it was something that I didn't necessarily focus on when I did it. Maybe that's
going to be a big focus for me.
That's a thing to do next time.
I think if you're in the moment where the pangs hit, that's where, if you're a praying religious type faith believer, that's where you do that. That's what you lean into that. And if you're a believer in that, like I am, of Romans 5:3-5, I rejoice in my suffering because that suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope. Then suffer well. And if that means you're hungry, then be hungry. Fine. But suffer for it.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody, I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning's workout, about the sensation of not necessarily being hungry, but your body or your brain's telling you it's time to eat.
Sure. You and I were talking about that.
That you should be eating, right?
It's 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m.
Eating, that's one thing. But like in the middle of the day or like a 2:30 time frame where you would normally grab something, you don't need to do that. And then what you're saying in that moment, right, where that would be something you might do, take 15 minutes for a quick devotional, or take 15 minutes to
use your time to do that.
Yes, send somebody a text or a call or an email that you haven't connected with in a while, and open up your mind and your heart to possibilities that might not normally come across because you're focused on something else. I think, Michael Bolton, I love that man.
Love it.
I appreciate him writing that. But it's more of just like, I didn't really do anything. I'm here blessed with a microphone and the show and the platform to be able to share this good news. Somebody else is in charge of opening up the hearts and minds. And so I'm happy to carry that water wherever possible.
Yeah, well said. All right, let's check in with the men in St. Louis before our break. We're overdue for a commercial, but we'll get there in a moment because we got to tell you what the guys in St. Louis are doing. You've heard us talk for the years that we've been doing this show about the great work they do for the Covering House, but I'm just going to read you what's been going on there. It says, brothers, I'm writing today because there's a group of men in St. Louis that deserve recognition, and they won't stand up and pat themselves on the back, so I need to call out their impact. We got you covered on that one. The men of F3 in what we're calling the F3 Gateway Super Region, which has got a bunch, have rallied behind the third F cause like I've not seen before. The Covering House, as you've heard from our CSOPs in the past, is a local group that rescues local kids from sex trafficking and provides rehabilitation and housing for their recovery. The annual mileage CSOP has raised a lot of money and awareness for the Covering House. And this year, with our F3 Invigorate grant, we're going nationwide to help other F3 regions partner with similar causes to fight human sex trafficking in their own backyards. There are too many high-impact men that have poured themselves into this effort to name. But I know those that were on the ground level will just tell you they were called to be there for something bigger than themselves. We've heard that before. This past month, a man who has been on fire for the Covering House, Gumbo, offered to auction off shaving his 24-year beard if they raised 10 grand in donations to assist with the construction of a new campus for the Covering House that will increase their capacity for care. Obviously, the F3 donations were rolling in. You can see that the funds were raised and handed off, and that the beard of 24 years looks like a new man.
Look at him there on the right.
He looks.
I know, it makes me think, like, what if he's got any shorties that's never seen his chin?
Yeah, of course. I bet he does. I'm going to list off a few of the guys they wanted to give shout outs to: Lube, Gumbo, Peloton, Crop Circle, Wolverine, Sheldon, Beans, Frozone.
I love when we do this.
I know.
We'll just naming names.
Frozone. Just huge thanks to those guys. Obviously, 10 grand to the Covering House. Amazing. And to the men of the F3 St. Louis Super Region. Guys, you guys paved the 43 feet as good as anyone. Yeah. As good as anyone. Keep up the great work, fellas.
That's amazing. Yeah, their Covering House, it seems like they've got multiple efforts to support that organization throughout the year, whether that was the CSOP you mentioned or this, and somebody gets an idea and a motivation, and then they just execute, and it's always good to see.
Yep. All right.
Yep. 24-year-old beard, that's a heck of a thing to auction off. $10,000 beard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we're overdue for a break. Let's take a quick one. You're going to hear from some great sponsors, including our friends at Warrior Biz Network. And when you go to warriorbiznetwork.com, which is a directory of F3 men and their businesses, use the code COT. You'll hear from them in this commercial break, and we'll be right back after a quick moment.
The 5 core principles of F3 are that it's free, it's open to all men, it's held outdoors rain or shine, peer-led in a rotating fashion, and always ends in a circle of trust.
Welcome to Family Farms, where our culinary journey is woven with passion, dedication, and a commitment to crafting the finest bacon-wrapped chicken, a timeless delicacy that has tantalized the taste buds since 1974. At Family Farms, we're more than just a traditional name. We've evolved into purveyors of gourmet delights. Join us on this flavorful adventure, where every bite tells a story of tradition, quality, and the enduring spirit of Family Farms.
Back in the good old days, we used to have these large yellow books delivered right to our doorstep that gave us phone numbers of businesses and services that could meet our needs. The only problem is, we didn't know if we could trust any of them. Well, thanks to F3, we are connected with incredible packs in our local communities. But what we don't necessarily have is a listing of the businesses of those packs. Introducing the F3 Warrior Biz Network, where you can connect with packs in your local community or from coast to coast throughout this great nation. You can connect with other biz packs to meet your needs, or if you're a business owner, you can register your own business so that other packs know about the services that you provide. Through the Warrior Biz Network, you have reliability and you have connectivity, and you can sign up today to represent your business or to find other businesses that you can trust. Join the Warrior Biz Network today at warriorbiznetwork.com.
Pax, Dark Helmet here, the Nantan. Listen, we have an opportunity for you to up the intensity of your life as a man. We did one of these last year, we're doing it again this year. This is Him Camp 2. This is going to be where you take yourself to the next level, bond with men. This is peak F3. So get yourself together and get it to Him Camp, all right?
Yeah, welcome back to the Circle of Trust. We just talked about that Him Camp a week ago with Dark Helmet here. There's the web address to go to, critraininghub.com/HimCamp. I mean, peak F3. It was just a weekend of F3 like on steroids.
Well, I'm writing this down right now.
Yes.
Because I'm interested to see if I can potentially thread the needle here. I think I'm going to be in the high country for a few weeks this summer. And if the locale is where I think it is, maybe I can, and that means that
might be able to
most of the kids are with the grandparents. I might be able to skedaddle over there for the weekend.
Ski dizzle.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. I see that our man Gobbler's hanging back in the green room. Gobbler, give me a thumbs up if you'd like to join the show here and you think you're prepared. I don't want to jump in while you're in the middle of a meeting. You know, we've had this happen to other guys. We know you're usually more prepared. What are you doing, big fella?
I'm good. You guys hear me?
Yes,
you
sir.
Sound loud and clear. What's going on in your world?
Oh, what is going on in my world? Well, it's sunny out here in the Pacific Northwest. I feel like I'm obligated
look
to
at
say
you!
that.
Look at you!
We are had some good FNGs come out recently.
Okay.
It's been very busy. I have officially moved to the place where I need a punch card for the ER. I've been to the ER 6 times, or urgent care 6 times in the past 10 months. The latest just this week.
Life with little ones. Life with
so you just putting that TRICARE through its paces, aren't you?
I am. The the second daughter, Esme, she fell on the playground and kind
I
of
know.
just smacked her knee in a bad way. She's fine. It was just a really bad bruise.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but she's good. But that's just the way it goes. When
Yeah.
you're an active family.
Hey, man, you fellow Barbarossa Redbeard over here. So good to see you as always. We love when a guy with a red beard joins the show. You've been involved in this F3 thing from a few different vantage points, but also very involved in sort of ink and all that stuff. We've got sort of a transition and a shift in the way in which things are going. So, man, just from your perspective, thoughts on the future, man. We're excited, right? What we got to hear out of Dark last week and this idea of really ensuring everything we're doing is missionally aligned with unlocking men and accelerating, invigorating male community leadership. I think it's an exciting time across this larger F3 nation of ours.
Yeah, obviously, Dark Helmet and I have talked a lot about this. We've gone back and forth. I just finished up my stint as COO, and I'm, how do I say this? It's not that I haven't told Dark. I didn't enjoy it as much as other things, and it's not because I don't enjoy working with the people. But anyone who's done COO will know that you spend most of your time dealing with contract stuff. You're not dealing with the mission.
Yeah, you're kind of away from it a little bit.
Keeping everything, all the trains on schedule.
Yeah. I wasn't involved in the mission. I was involved in just making stuff work, and it wasn't always enjoyable. It was necessary. It was needed.
Well, it's important, and somebody's got to do it. So we're grateful that you were able to step in the breach and handle it.
What's awesome is that Dark has given me this great opportunity to kind of step back into that, where I just took over the Western sector from your brother Atari.
Yep.
And so, you're probably going to see me hopefully jump on more often to try and plug the Western sector and see what they're doing. We just had our first sector meeting in a while last week, and the guys are pumped. And my goal there is to see what mileage we can really get out of the sector as an operational node, and to really bring the guys together. I'm going to be working with these guys to not, leadership development's number one. We've really turned a corner where for the first decade and a half, expansion, still important. But what we got to do now is we got to double down on training our leaders. And we really got to train the Nantans and train the next. We got to make sure we're training 2 and 3 generations so that we have national leaders ready to step up. And to lead this organization, and when Dark's done. And so that's really where we're at. Camo is leading the charge on that, and then I have made Dark and I talked about that many times, that the nation's number one priority moving forward is leadership development. That is how the nation accomplishes the mission, right? And then the question is, what do the sectors do, and then what do the regions do? The regions, really nothing changes, right? You're still out there, you're having good workouts, you're doing things. But the question is, how do we empower you? Not just empower you, but how do we make sure you're equipped? As we get larger, you have more and more men that may not have the same teachings that I've had, that your dad has had, through the military, and we need to be able to share that around. And that's really what I'm just. I'm very honored that I get to work with the guys of the Western sector, Eagle, 88, Double Dip, Atari as well. All these guys, and just kind of bring them up and really just partner with them. I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, I think it rings true with being able to, you sort of like in and out of different leadership roles, and how critical each one is to the success of the broader whole, right? And this refocus that we're on, and how you can help. You're a part of that maybe thought process and transition at the higher level, but then how can you help bring that back down and foster across a broad region into the local level where we all live and work and operate. So looking forward to seeing what great things, is in front of the entire organization now globally, worldwide. A lot on the horizon here.
Well, and Kitty, I'm going to put a bug in your ear.
Please.
Because, one of the things I want to do for the Western sector is have a Western sector conference here in the semi-near future. And I feel like, you guys need to go on the road, and you need to come out there, and you need to be part of that. So more to come on that.
I love it.
Nascent idea. But I think
where are you going to be hosting said conference / summit / working event?
TBD. However, when you look at the Western sector, Sacramento area kind of jumps out as the first
Sacktown.
one.
Sacktown. Like it.
There's a lot of
they got a baseball team now.
Yeah, they do.
Well,
we're in.
Timing will be important. We'll see what happens.
All right. I love the sound of it. Before we let you go, Just thoughts on everything happening in the Middle East. No, I'm kidding. We can't talk about that. We're not going to talk about that here.
You know what?
Former Army guy.
Okay.
Forget the Middle East. Can we talk about the 5 states who lost 911 connectivity last night?
What? That's not
What?
good.
I didn't know that.
Read about it. Look it up.
Hey, you know, I will say this.
You spent too much time on the dark web.
Obviously, for those of you who know me, know that I for my own personal reasons, I do keep track of world events because you never know when I might get an email or a call telling me to report without beard, sans beard, different clothes. You're going on a plane, right?
Right.
That is always a possibility as an engineer officer in the United States Army. But what I would say is that so you always stay prepared, right? I'm always got to stay prepared.
What a pivot. God, this guy's a pro.
You know, because you never know when I got to leave. So, you know, squats every day. That's the best way to be prepared.
Yes, sir. Get down there. Get down in it.
But as a larger role, I would tell men that, at least for me personally, I don't worry, one, because I know who holds my future. And I'm not worried about whether I have to go serve the country, whether I don't have to serve the country. I have prepared myself. I've prepared my family. I'm ready to go because that's what I do. Yeah. And I signed that contract, and I have no qualms about doing it. And I've done it before and would do it again. But I just there's no reason to worry. From my standpoint, like the Middle East has been around a very long time. They've been they've been shooting at each other much longer.
Kind of since the dawn of civilization.
They're gonna keep shooting at each other. The problems are much more dynamic than you or I are ever gonna unpack in the next 15 minutes of this. And
well, we could try.
No, we do have other things to get to. Believe
we do have other things to get to, but I would.
Can we do a foreign policy episode? I would love that.
If you're worried about what's going on in the Middle East, you should probably lean into your third F a bit more.
Well said, bro. All right, man, get out of here.
All right, I'll see you later, guys.
Peace.
Later, buddy.
You know what? He echoes the sentiments of Scotty Scheffler, who just won the Masters a week ago.
That's a hell of a
clip.
And
when asked about it, said, "Look, I love golf. It's a huge part of my life, but I'm not that worried about it." His point was, he's got a higher calling. So let's be more like that.
I think he said something to the effect of his victory was on the cross.
Well, it was outstanding. I mean,
it was a really well said moment.
And he won the tournament.
Yeah. And my brain forever and ever will never compute how well the man hits a golf ball with those damn feet.
I know it's outstanding. I love every minute.
It just doesn't work in my brain.
We got to give some shout outs to Atlanta, Maine, and Foothills. Let's start in Hot Atlanta, as today marks 9 years since the launch of F3 Alpha. North Atlanta wouldn't have been possible without a few high impact men. They hadn't gotten out of their comfort zones and traveled down to the Carolinas to help us out. Crotch Rocket and a few other hymns came 4 Saturdays in a row to get us off the ground. 9 years later, we have dozens of AOs. We've spawned multiple sub-regions. We have a lot. They had 57.
They're about to get a high-impact man in that region from our region.
I know.
Right? Isn't he going to Alpha?
No, I know.
Alpha boys better keep on the lookout.
I'm still, despite every Slack post I see about him clearing out in the buy-sell trade channel, I'm still just pretending like it's not happening. You're about to get
I went and stole like 75% of his firewood.
You're about to get a massive high-impact man alpha. Like you have no idea what's about to hit you.
Yeah,
which is great. All right, here's what we saw happen out of Maine. I don't have the full story here.
Okay,
but I saw Justin Irby post this.
Look at that.
He emailed us about the F3 Maine eclipse. So some guys went into Maine and we're working out together or doing something during the eclipse. I don't know, but I have some photos. We have photos of it.
Can we get a follow-up?
Which is outstanding. Well, I got an email into him. I asked him to join the show. He wasn't able to do it today.
Okay.
So we'll see, but something's happening in Maine. That's our news.
Dude, when you're at cold plunging to where you have to chainsaw the lake.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
It's a different level of cold plunge to me than just jumping in a tub with ice.
Yeah, it's similar to the videos you see on Instagram of the Russians jumping in eating blocks of ice in the frozen.
They're maniacs over there.
All right, check this out from the men of F3 Foothills. You know them. We love them. Obviously, it's a region that's near and dear to our hearts. F3 Foothills has a big event this Saturday. So if you're in the area and you can get over there, they got something good going. 2-parter pre-event, 0400 start. Woof.
What?
Woof.
I bet Hoot Bowman's involved in the 0400 start. He hasn't called, pause. We were talking about goat reps and gnarly goat calling into the show.
Right.
Hoot Bowman used to be a regular.
Something happened when we made the transition onto the silver
I don't know. I
screen.
think he's still mad that the Mortimer 100 hasn't been
Oh.
graced by our presences.
Yeah.
Presence high.
Well, they got a big convergence going on. There's something happened early at 04. Big convergence starfish at 07.
Yeah, throw that graphic back up.
So they got new regions coming together. So just get up with those guys. Reach out to Sparkles or Lil Sweet. Then they got some second half afterward where they're going to be hanging out. So just a big weekend. Big
Are
weekend.
those bacon, egg, and cheese? Is that what Becks are? Becks and coffee?
BECs and coffee at 8 a.m.ish. Yeah, it's a bacon, egg, and cheese,
good.
bro.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. The one seed, I think, on the old breakfast sando.
I love a bacon.
I know you like a pork roll.
No, I love a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Beck is.
I don't discriminate, bro. You know me. I love a breakfast sando, but a bacon, egg, and cheese.
I could eat a breakfast sandwich right now, any time of the day. Wake me up at 3 a.m. You want a sando? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Well,
yes, I do.
I'm awake now. Thanks for waking me. I'm awake now.
Seriously.
Might as well. All right, dude. We got another commercial break, and we've got the quote worth repeato coming up on the other side of it. What's up, Craig Hannum? Coming in late. He's down in Florida. FLT? What's that mean?
Been an even FLT morning.
Hmm.
I'd have to Google that.
Helping another guy in crisis, though. So, Craig, man, grateful for what you're doing on behalf of the network and F3. All right, quick commercial. We'll be right back. Quote worth repeato on the other side.
Welcome to F3, Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith, where men come together for something more than just a workout. Our core principles define us: free of charge, open to all men, held outdoors, peer-led, and end in a circle of trust. Whether you want to run, lift heavy things, or focus on bodyweight exercises, F3 has over 4,000 workouts available worldwide. Join us, experience the camaraderie, the challenge, and the transformation of F3, where men can get right so that they can lead right.
Hi, Joel Maurer, founder of Dink Ninjas. Dink Ninjas was dreamed up and started right here in Austin, Texas, a dynamic pickleball community. We arm pickleballers with the paddles, apparel, and accessories to dink like a ninja. Dink Ninjas is dedicated to supporting mental health awareness and cancer research. Shop our full lineup at dinkninjas.com and enter code NGBNTV for 10% off site-wide.
Back in the good old days, we used to have these large yellow books delivered right to our doorstep that gave us phone numbers of businesses and services that could meet our needs. The only problem is, we didn't know if we could trust any of them. Well, thanks to F3, we are connected with incredible PACs in our local communities. But what we don't necessarily have is a listing of the businesses of those PACs. Introducing the F3 Warrior Biz Network, where you can connect with PACs in your local community or from coast to coast throughout this great nation. You can connect with other biz PACs to meet your needs, or if you're a business owner, you can register your own business so that other PACs know about the services that you provide. Through the Warrior Biz Network, you have reliability and you have connectivity, and you can sign up today to represent your business or to find other businesses that you can trust. Join the Warrior Biz Network today at warriorbiznetwork.com.
When you go to warriorbiznetwork.com, use the code COT, let them know we sent you.
That's right.
I got to show you this tweet I just saw. I was checking out the Twitter sphere during the break, seeing what's going on, catching up. It's the fastest way I know how to show you this on the air. Look at this from the boys of Omaha. See if I can. There we go.
What in the world is that?
So the caption reads, "We celebrate 6 years of F3 Omaha on Saturday," which is true. That's amazing. "Our goal is to help men overcome sad clown syndrome. Sometimes we dress like clowns. Share your favorite F3 costume or workout gear you've witnessed by any other PACs. All start." And he's got, Lloyd and Harry right there.
Did you troubadour Omaha?
Sure did. So who gets credit for their amazing success? Liverpool would tell you it was him because he was there as well. But no, we had an amazing
costumes at workouts. He's still the most memorable.
Well, assless chaps were a bold move.
A bold strategy, God.
It was a bold move that day. The vest with no shirt and the chest hair was a bold strategy that day as well.
Yeah.
But it was Halloween.
Steve Earls in assless chaps.
It was Halloween. It was Halloween.
Right.
Listen, no Bones this week. He was having some technical issues. So Bones assures us the Hunt for Wellness will return next week, but we had some great fasting talks. So I feel like
we did hit some health tips. Yep.
And you've got the always anticipated, never duplicated quote worth repeato. And I like this one this week. So tee us up, amigo.
Yeah. So there was a time early on in the show, it seemed like president quotes made a more regular appearance than they do now. And I was looking at stuff related to perseverance. And yesterday I retweeted a Jocko video talking about every last rep and like keep pushing and keep pushing. You're tired, keep pushing, and do the reps. The success comes from the reps. And I saw this quote from John Quincy Adams. Trivia. Do you know what number president he was?
Was he not a president? Because regular John Adams was, but JQA was not, or was he like number 3 or number 6?
Number 6.
Ah, boom, baby. Okay. I didn't know if that was a trick. There's right. I remember John Adams, JQA. Okay. Pretty sure he was. You know, everybody always gets tripped up on Ben Franklin because they automatically assume he was El Presidente. Was not. JQA number 6. I thought I had that somewhere.
John and Abigail's
not bad.
John and Abigail's offspring, I believe.
See if I got. There he is back there.
Yeah, there he is.
Hey, what up, you list?
So the quote this week from JQA is this: patience and perseverance.
Oh wait, that's a couple weeks ago.
That's the wrong one.
That's Dwight D from a few weeks ago.
Well, presidential, right?
Oh, you know what? I threw the wrong one in there. I threw the wrong one.
Let me read it.
That's 100% on me. We'll get it.
If you can find it while I read it, and I'll talk about it.
Sure can.
Patience and perseverance have a magical effect before which difficulties and obstacles vanish.
Oh.
And so back when, we were talking just a second ago about the Jocko clip from yesterday, and then one of the more famous Jocko clips I think probably everybody has seen is the good speech.
Yep.
And nothing comes quick in life, and nothing typically comes easy in life.
There you go, bro.
And so patience and perseverance have a magical effect before which difficulties and obstacles vanish. So something standing in your way,
patience and perseverance have
something bothering you, something's holding you back, something's holding your family back, something's holding your professional life back. Work at it, continuously work at it, and watch what happens. Obsessing over the obstacle or obsessing over the difficulty will not necessarily rise you, above or through those things.
You know, it's amazing. I'm sorry, bro. You know, what's amazing is we often feel like we have to look for the next great leadership book, training, or way of thinking.
Yeah.
But what JQA is so eloquently stated, which by the way, we should return to speaking this way. It's just,
for sure.
It's just a better way to do it. But you've also heard that. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is Jocko's point about doing the reps. It's a tried and true way about life.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and sort of the book, The Obstacle is the Way, like all of these principles, while they might be a way to look through them through the 2024 lens,
right?
That line of thinking in that perseverance and patience are the way to push through the challenges you have. You mean to tell me that the 56 Braves sitting around that table with the weight of a brand new nation on their shoulders, and quite frankly, some would argue the weight of the future of the world at their doorstep,
the future of freedom or democracy, for sure.
If there was a massive obstacle in the way, a massive obstacle.
Well, and two, we live in an incredible time, incredibly positive, incredibly challenging, incredibly difficult. But we live in a time where instant gratification and quick fixes. And if I want that, I can get that without even having to do more than lift a finger onto a screen.
Yeah.
And we translate that into everything, thinking that, well, I can quickly fix this, or I can quickly get
how much better you feel when you put the work in, though?
Yeah.
You just feel better. And it's yours. You've earned it. You've worked it. You know, you've gotten up at 5 a.m. and you've drug your butt out of that nice warm bed where there's probably a cute lady laying next to you. And you're like, well, I could just stay here. Yeah. Or, dude, you can go.
Well, and it builds off last week. We were talking about the Cam Hanes. What you do in the dark matters, right? Like
we had that same conversation with someone yesterday, and it wasn't even in reference to that quote, but we're like, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Wow.
So you just keep pressing. So
like you said, tried and true.
Yeah.
We exist as a species today with all its comforts and glories and whatever else because people persevered and people were patient.
Yep.
So.
That's right. Dude, great show. First one on the continuous stream on the network.
Yeah.
First of what will be many, and we're so grateful for you guys for carving out a little bit of time. Coming up next, if you're watching live on NGBN TV right now, if you're watching on the app, go download it. If you haven't, Stuff We're Trying coming up next. So it's an F3 power block here. The boys have a show that they produced recently, and it's airing then. So that's coming up here in the next few minutes. Love you, bro.
Awesome. Stay tuned, man. Yeah, love you too. Enjoyed the show. Always a pleasure. Glad we had a few live guests. Very dynamic today.
Yeah.
Lots of topics covered.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome.
This is what we do, man.
Highlight my Thursday.
That's right. Kick your Thursday up a little bit. If another man hasn't told you this today, we love you. The nation loves you. Go out there, keep getting after it, and stay tuned for more. You can watch us on demand. You can watch us live, and we've got great experiences happening right here in this combined effort between NGBN TV and F3 Nation on a mission to help men accelerate their lives. See ya.
This has been the Circle of Trust. Whether you're watching on NGBN TV or across the F3 Nation platforms, be sure to rate, review, and share our show. And download the NGBN TV app today on your favorite streaming device.
I'm Brian Jodas, 42. Hello, Kitty.
And I'm Jamie Roseborough, 40. Rapido.
And this has been the Circle of Trust.